Okay, that's clear. So, it's 1:15. Yeah, let's start. Our topic is today marketplace implementations. I'm full, and I like to guide you through some details about marketplaces, how to implement them, how to use them in your own RCP application, and so on. So, who of you has an own RCP application or writes an own RCP application? Okay, that's quite fine. Do you already have a marketplace in there, or do you like to have a known marketplace where we can offer those additional plugins, and we test them before we deploy them in the marketplace, so the user do not see any of these cryptic messages we had before in Eclipse, like I can't install this plugin due to this and this and this. So that's too heavy for the user. We have to test it before we deploy it to the marketplace. Generally, last year I also had a talk about update strategies. Yeah, it's tightly coupled with this marketplace issue. I like to show it again, so try to give you a better overview of what's needed there. On the left side, we, for example, have the typical Eclipse IDE as we know it from the yearly release train. We have Eclipse as an IDE, we have the Eclipse Marketplace, very fine, we can install additional solutions. But we can go through the process to the right side. So when we go here, so this is maybe also the Eclipse IDE, where you put some own code into it and use, again, the Eclipse Marketplace, but that you put an own marketplace upon it. So some companies do it. You see it also in Eclipse. And that's another way how to bundle these things. On the right side are two more things, that you have an own Eclipse RCP application that maybe has another design, that you did some own programming there, but where you offer a marketplace so that your users can select which plugins they like to install. And on the right side, it's a pure enterprise application, Eclipse, where you have no marketplace and where the users have no chance at all to do more than they should do. And what you can see here to the right side, you have a very good control over the update process on the right side. Sometimes you do not have it, for example, in the Eclipse IDE when you try to install a plugin. Sometimes it fails. I'm sure you will have had those situations before. Who of you had those situations where, okay, yeah, a lot of people. And that's quite weird because even we as programmers see these messages and say, what? Why is it not installing? And what is needed there? So in the last time, they did a lot of good work to improve this thing. So to say, okay, I want to fetch another version of the library that is used and so on. But it happens that it's not working at all. You try to avoid this in the enterprise environment. Sure, it's okay for the developer environment. And so we have control of the update process, but on the other side, we have here no flexibility from user side. Here we have a high flexibility. And the thing in between is to offer an own marketplace where you have a bit of flexibility, but you have a good control about what you deliver, and you can test it before. Okay, I think I don't have to show this, you know it. The marketplace and the question, can we do the same with our own RCP application? And definitely, yes, we can do it. And I would like to show you. Principally, we could make this presentation very short because it's just making a GET request and getting back an XML file. That's the marketplace. It's nothing more. It's quite simple, pretty straightforward, and I like to show you how it looks like. So when your application, seen in the middle, you as a user, when you open the marketplace, the following thing happens. You have a GET request to a marketplace server, which is somewhere. Maybe you don't know where it is, but the application knows. The server returns back an XML document I will show. Then your application okay, there are certain update sites compiled, or there are certain update sites inside the XML file. He takes the update sites and try to fetch the content of those update sites. It's effectively the same as you would do manually. Add update site, that's it. And I would show you in the application. So where do we have it? Here. What the marketplace is doing is quite this. I think a lot of us did this before. Go here, add a new update site with a name, fetch the content from there. The marketplace is doing this automatically. So you see nice pictures, but effectively that's it, what happens there. And you know, I don't, for presentation reasons, I show it where's the marketplace? Ooh. Okay, marketplace gone somehow. Is it here somewhere? Okay, that's the thing of showcases, but what we have in here is when we open the marketplace perspective, what we saw here exactly. A URL is fetched, and it looks like, where's my text file? Here we have it. It's, for example, a URL like this, and we can go to browser. Browser's not there. Takes a while to load. So what the marketplace dialog is doing, he's doing simply the same as this. We put the URL in the browser, and now he connects to marketplace eclipse.org, and we get back an XML file with a lot of information, and we see update site URLs and so on. So when you like to implement a known marketplace, you have to do all these things. And now I will show you to have a look at the entries. So let's go back here. Exactly. So we have a look at step number 8. So you try to access the marketplace, and what you see here, we have the URL marketplace eclipse.org. It could be also your own page, like my company, Eclipse, mycompany.com or something else. And then you have to have a look at the parameters. So there are some kinds of code like featured /rb/p question mark, and then you have your product name, for example, net, open Chrome, and so on. The operating system, you get the runtime version, you get the client, you get the Java version, the product version of your own product, and that's very cool because I created my own marketplace implementation to react on these product versions, because when you have different plugins, you don't want to ship all the plugins for all the versions, and it was not available in the marketplace a few years ago that you can have a look at these product version. I think it's in there now, but that was the reason why I built my own marketplace. You have the Windows system and the language. So by firing this request, you get back the result into the marketplace. And there's, it's not, for example, as we saw, the featured ABP is one URL that can be fired to the marketplace, but you have to support other kinds of URLs to match or to be a complete marketplace implementation. Like, for example, APP search, Apache Solr, and so on for a query if you like to search for modeling, or if you like to search for XML text editors or something, then internally he searches for those plugins which are available and can be delivered. You have recent AP, so the things that have been installed recently. Popular, as you know it from the marketplace, there's the rating where you can say this plugin is very good, or this is insufficient or bad or something. You get also some recommendation based on the ratings. We have, it's maybe, it's a popular thing. Then we have a node, so each item can be identified by a distinct ID. And then there's a recently went in there in a kind of newsletter, which is displayed, so Eclipse newsletter of the month, something like this. That's point number 8. So when we go back now, we fired the request, and then we get back an XML file at point number B. And this XML file I showed you before looks like this. So you have the marketplace, you have the featured count. It means how many plugins are delivered within this XML file, which match your request. You have a node ID. You have the name, for example, here, JRobble for Eclipse. You have the URL where you can have access to the web page, and so on. You have categories, build and deploy when you search for certain things, and you have tag IDs, and I split it into 2 things because you have a lot of information in there. And you have an owner, you have favorited. So what you see here is the rating those plugins get. And installs total, installs recent, and so on. That's information because at the server side you have the GET request. And by this GET request you can do all the nice statistics within your marketplace server. A short description and so on. Yeah, that's it. But the most important, the other things are important too. So I just listed a few of them which are important or necessary, like license, or like is the one who offers the plugin, is he a foundation member or not? That's very Eclipse Foundation specific. But there's another thing, status and so on. But the most important thing is the update URL and the installable units. But the update URL, that's what I showed before, is the thing when you put in an update site manually where Eclipse knows, okay, I have to take this update site or this update URL, put it into my reference system, and then fetch the update from there. So pretty straightforward. Yeah, so now we go to point number C. He is fetching the updates. And what you can do also with your own application or your own plugins you would like to offer through an own marketplace is just building an update site, for example, via Tycho, where I think most of you know it. You have then in the target repository or in the target folder, a features folder, plugins folder, and the commonly known artifacts and content jar. And you only have to place them on the server somewhere. Because the URL, this is the important one. If you say updates, American company making everything.com/0.9x/repository, it's just a file server. You have to put them. Yeah.
What about you have some limitation and you can't have a P2 repository, but you still have Windows features, everything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of dynamic, so you cannot have the repository regenerated on every request. Can you get a marketplace in such a case?
I would say no, because you need somewhere to point to a repository where your update site resides on. So the Eclipse has to know, okay, from where do I have to fetch these updates? So, and you have to build this once. I think if it's dynamically, I don't think that's possible.
I was more looking for a case where I have P2 IOs,
yeah.
and I want to feed the marketplace client with a list of IOs and deliver them in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, what you can do, you can go into the, or that's also a point necessary I had last year in the presentation. you can edit the P2 catalog within Eclipse. So when you deliver your application, you can go in there and say, okay, please get me the configuration and add update sites manually there within your code. So that's important when you, for example, offer a plugin which has a dependency on another plugin. So then normally Eclipse would fail to install it. But if you have added some other repository, for example, for third-party libraries, he tries to resolve the dependency from there if he can find it. So you can add those things yeah, within your Eclipse application, but sure, they need to be stored somewhere. So that's the only limitation.
Or you could try to run the publisher. Within the request.
I have run caching pieces. If I have to regenerate it on every request, it's not
Yeah.
feasible.
Depends on how many requests they're expecting, right? But,
Yeah.
I mean, the normal marketplace interaction is so slow, I wouldn't really recognize the difference probably.
Yeah. I saw, yeah. Yeah, exactly, and that's so what it looks like, and that's exactly the point I told about. In Eclipse, you also have the, or it's also available that you add own update site. For example, we have it for third-party libraries, which we have on our server. If we install an additional plugin, sometimes he needs an additional feature, and then he tries to fetch it from there. But sure, we can't tell, or I think it's inconvenient if we tell the users, hey, you can use the marketplace, but first, please go to the settings, go to available software sites, put a URL in there where you might fetch another plugin. So that's pretty inconvenient. Nobody would do it, customers wouldn't do it, but the good thing about it, you can use while you're setup of the application, the preferences and set this update site via code, via the API to your application. And that's quite good. Yeah, the next question is, okay, when we have a marketplace, and we will soon have a look again at those XML files and what it looks like and which GET requests we have to match with our server, but how to add it to our own RCP application. So because when you open the marketplace, as I liked to show you, but it was disappeared somehow, don't know why. You need to add these or your own marketplace to your application, and you can do this simply by using the plugin XML file in your product or in your plugin, and add an extension to the org Eclipse EPP MPC UI catalog. And that's what you do here. This is my marketplace. You put in a logo in there, you put a label in there. You also point to an URL, for example, where, as we know from Eclipse Marketplace, eclipse.org, to show some nice things, and self-contained faults. Self-contained faults means in this specific reason is that what we had before, we add another update sites via the API, and self-contained faults means if a plugin needs another dependency, he will have a look at these additional update sites and tries to resolve these dependencies. And that's what we as the developers have to take care of, that we test our marketplace. So there's no such situation worse than that the user tries to go to the marketplace, tries to install a plugin, and it crashes because he can't resolve the dependencies in the other installable units. So we have to take care that everything is in place for a correct update. Yeah, this is exactly another example how to add the marketplace via a pure E4 application. You can do, or you can add those marketplace clients or marketplaces also in your RCP application via code. And this is, yeah, it's nearby the same. You say catalog, URL, and URL, and so on. That's exactly what the XML extension is doing. And then put a descriptor and everything what we had before, and then Marketplace client open Marketplace wizard. And to open it via a command in the menu or in the icon bar. Yeah, the URL I showed you in the Marketplace was that you have to point to some page. For example, this is the Eclipse Marketplace intro page where you can also add your own solutions. And we have it, I can go to the web browser, we have it also for our own company, openchrome.net. The wireless connection is not the best, but we try. And what we have in here, we have, let's go to plugins. Yeah, it takes a while. Normally it's a bit faster with a better network. What we have in here, that we implemented the Marketplace, so some plugins and so on. So it's listed what we're using there. That we implemented our own Marketplace on PHP and MySQL, because what you have to deliver is an XML file, and then you can combine all the things. The good part to implement an own Marketplace, we can combine it with some getting keys for certain plugins. And we have a better control how to deliver, and if the users have a key already for certain plugins and not. If you're working in a commercial environment, sure, that is, yeah, it's necessary sometimes to offer these plugins are free, but they need a key because we want to get in contact to our customers, sure. But in the future, you will also, or it's also possible to offer commercial services to pay with a credit card or something like this. So, but having control over your data is very important. And let's go back to the presentation. Exactly, that's how the Marketplace from Eclipse looks like, and that's what I had before. You have these update sites, know where to get the plugins from. I have time for some minutes, so let's go back to the XML files. And exactly what we have here, again, the request, the future request, Marketplace Eclipse org, featured, AP, and so on, product. That is a thing we saw before. There are some other parameters that need to be matched. So it's so they are listed here. You have to go into RP. With the RP call, you get a list. We can do it of which categories and which taxonomy is available in the Marketplace. So let's use this one. And do a live request against Eclipse Marketplace. So in case it's not working without connection here, I also have it as an XML file, but okay, it works so far. What you see here, you get a kind of taxonomy with terms and so on, market, Eclipse project, database development, programming languages, and so on, application development frameworks, collaboration, and so on. These are the points when you search in the Marketplace. For example, you want to have an EMF editor or something, so he knows this information is compiled in a database, and he searches for plugins who maybe match to your request. So I would like to show it, but as I told you, somehow my Marketplace is gone in the Eclipse IDE. Don't know why. So you get a list of certain items, and that's pretty cool. So I did it when implementing my own Marketplace. Go through the XML files, have a look what's in there, how it's structured. We have a look at the next thing is, as you see, IP we had, featured we had. Well, there's some regular expressions we can use in there. recent and favorites. So I like to show the popular one we have in here. We can use this, and it's pretty much the same all the time. So go in here. It takes time. Okay, we have to wait. Maybe I have to. It takes too long. I will open the. No. I will open the cached version I have in here. Where's it? Popular XML. Exactly. For example, it looks like this, and then you have again the node ID, the name, subversive provider, the URL where you can go to the web page, type the categories, the tags, for example, SVN, subversion, team provider, subversive, and the owner, the description, the body, created, timestamp, foundation member, yes, homepage URL, the images, and so on. So, and another important thing is this one, the installable units. As you have an own application, you know it when you create a feature, and when you build up your RCP application by features, you depend on these installable units, and this is what is listed in the marketplace too. So by the installable units, Eclipse knows how to, or which other things to fetch and which is necessary to fetch to install the plugin, platforms and so on. So it's pretty straightforward. Let's go back. Do we have another thing here? The RP popular. Yeah, no, we haven't. So that's it. So it's no rocket science. It's just doing XML files, and yeah. So it's easy to integrate in the own marketplace into your own application. Yeah, I hope that gave you a bit insight how it works with the marketplace. And yeah, do you have some further questions? Yeah.
What about implementations, or is there an open source implementation for a marketplace which could be extended to one use, or is it?
As far as I know, you can. There is no implementation. If you're interested in the, I have it in the folder here. If you're interested in the marketplace client, it's available. Sure, that's open source available at the foundation. So good work they did. Talking?
Yeah, I just want to add that Diamond Light Source is working on a marketplace server.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it will be open source.
Okay. Yeah. Diamond Light Source. So there's we are at the science working group. So with the some people or some research institutes and companies and so on working on scientific stuff. So it's visualization, modeling, and data modeling and analysis and so on. And we often face the problem that we have a lot of scientific libraries are LGPL or GPL licensed. It's a bit problematic because we can't ship this together with our application, so we need a way to offer it to our users, but they have to do it manually by themselves. Otherwise, we wouldn't be compliant, and that's where such a marketplace will be.
What was it called again, or is it a science group?
Science working group. If you go to science.eclipse.org, I can show you, or I think it's quite. Yeah, it's like the location tag working group, eclipse.org. We have also mailing list where you can, okay, it's also not responding, we can ask the people and so on. But normally I did my implementation in PHP and MySQL because these are common. If you have a hoster, you commonly have PHP and MySQL. But this is not open source. It's for our internal use. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything like best practice? Because we have several instances of our RCP application for quality assurance, for development, and each environment has its own should have its own marketplace implementation. So if we build the product once, is there a chance to say, okay, this RTP application runs on development, so we go to the development marketplace? And this one's for quality assurance. So.
Sure, sure. That's a cool thing you can do with Marketplace. We had this URLs featured and so on, and effectively what you place in your request is the product name. So as long as you have a product name and can differentiate by the product name, are you in development status? For example, I have the RCP compilation product, and where's the version here? The product and the product version. So by parsing these parameters in your marketplace server, you can then decide which plugins to deliver or not to deliver. So
I have to within my RCP application, I have to switch different versions or different product names so that Marketplace can recognize and can say, okay, this is product name development, so I show plugins for development, and this is product name quality assurance, so I show.
maybe yes, you can differentiate by those names. Or what we do here in OpenChrome is that we use our product name. Sure, that's the same all the time, but we have the version. We know by the version which plugins to deliver. So we have some plugins for version 0.9. We have plugins for 1.1 and 1.0 and so on. And the marketplace server decides then, okay, in case it's 1.0, he takes another subset of plugins than for the previous version. And then you can also decide by this which plugins to deliver. So you need a kind of identifier in there, but I think you can do it for different versions because you can identify it by the timestamp or when it was built at your company.
That's the way to go then.
Yeah. Okay, some more questions? Yeah.
The available update sites list in Eclipse, is this filled by the marketplace or isn't it independent?
You mean, let me show. Yeah. You mean this one?
Yeah.
The marketplace is doing effectively adding update sites here. So what you could, well, you can do it manually by saying install a new plugin. What the marketplace is doing, he gets the URL out of the XML file from your plugin and then puts it in here. So that's what is the marketplace doing. You can do it also in the code. So when you write your application, you can say get the configuration and so on and put it here because that's very important. We have some third-party libraries, so some plugins need some other third-party libraries. We not bundle at the base application. It's only fetched when it's needed, and there he resolves this thing. So it's it's just another way how to add these update sites. Yeah. So that's it. It's it's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Yeah.
One more question concerning licenses or license agreement. So we need to assure that if a user accepts a license agreement, we have to protocol this information. So is there a chance if I as a user agree to the licenses in the marketplace, get some kind of feedback so that I can write a note into a database or something like this?
I not come across this. So also it's in the dialog that you have to say yes, accept, otherwise it wouldn't install your plugin. But there's no feedback to your server yet. No. Maybe we can have a look at the marketplace client code. Maybe you can add some feature request or bug track issue there and ask the people if they would like to implement it. So, or can implement it by yourself if you need it. But I don't think or don't know if it if people will accept it. So, due to the reason that they say, okay, it's a user tracking and information and personal data and so on. So, but it's not or there's no way to do it now.
If I have the same license, or I bring a new version of the plugin, so accepted the license, let me say, half year before,
Yeah.
has he to accept it again, or is there some mechanism
Yeah.
so that